What if I told you that the closure you're waiting for is never coming? That text you're hoping for, the moment they suddenly realize they love you back, it won't happen. And yet, you still check your phone. You still rehearse conversations in your head. You still relive every memory, dissecting every smile, every word, as if one hidden detail might unlock their love for you. This isn't just love. This is obsession. And it's slowly stealing your peace, your time, and your sense of self. But you're not alone. Millions of people are emotionally trapped in the same way, fixated on someone who doesn't see them, doesn't choose them, and maybe never even truly cared. Why do we do this to ourselves? And more importantly, how do we stop? This isn't a list of quick tips. It's a journey, a story of awakening. You're not weak for feeling this way. You're human. And together, we'll explore a path that leads you out of the fog, not with bitterness, but with clarity, strength, and compassion for yourself. Let's begin. 1. The illusion of the one. It all starts with a myth, the idea that this person was meant for you. You think it was fate, chemistry, timing, soulmates? You think, but we had such a connection. And that might be true. But here's what your brain does in love. It romanticizes pain. You remember the good and erase the bad. You create a highlight reel, not a reality. Psychologist Helen Fisher's research shows that rejection activates the same areas of the brain as addiction and physical pain. That's why you crave them like a drug. That's why you replay every moment like a movie. But the truth is, you're not in love with them. You're in love with what you made them represent. The future, the fantasy, the fix. You didn't fall in love with who they were. You fell in love with what you hoped they could be for you. As Rumi said, don't get lost in your pain. Know that one day your pain will become your cure. And it's not just a spiritual metaphor, it's a psychological reality. The pain you feel is pointing you inward, that illusion you built around them. It was never about them. It was about a need in you, perhaps formed long ago, that wanted to be seen, chosen, and saved. But no one can save you but you. 2. Starving the fantasy. Obsession is fueled by attention. Every time you stalk their profile, reread old texts, or talk about them with friends, you feed the fire, and that fire keeps you stuck. This is the phase where you have to go no contact, not just with them, but with the idea of them. This doesn't mean hatred, it means discipline. Imagine a plant growing inside you that feeds on attention. Every thought, every glance is water. You want it to wither. Then stop watering it. Set boundaries. Delete the chats. Unfollow. Journal instead of texting. Write a letter you'll never send. Mourn what was real, and kill what was imagined. And when the urge returns, and it will, remind yourself, this fantasy is a trap disguised as a rescue. Every time you feed it, you delay your freedom. You're not rejecting love by letting go. You're rejecting delusion. You're not betraying your heart. You're saving it. The key here is not numbness. It's conscious redirection. Use that same energy you spent on them and pour it into building something new. A habit, a hobby, a friendship, a deeper part of yourself. Starvation of obsession is only painful in the beginning. Eventually, silence becomes space, and space becomes freedom. 3. Rebuilding the self they never saw. One of the most painful things about unrequited love is that it leaves you feeling unseen. You wonder, what did I do wrong? Am I not enough? Here's the truth. Their inability to love you says nothing about your worth. Love isn't a reward for being better. It's a reflection of compatibility, timing, values, and sometimes their own damage. And when someone can't love you back, it's not a sign you lack value. It's a sign you must go find it for yourself. The reward of self-love is never having to beg for someone else's. This is the phase of self-reclamation. Reconnect with your body? Move, dance, breathe. Reconnect with your mind. Read, create, build something you love. Reconnect with your soul. Meditate, volunteer, dream again. But go beyond basic self-care. Ask yourself, who was I before I made them my mirror? Obsession often distorts identity. You begin to see yourself only in terms of how they saw you, or failed to. Now it's time to rebuild your identity without their gaze. You are more than someone who was rejected. You are someone becoming whole. Step by step, reclaim the hobbies you dropped, the confidence you lost, the dreams you shelved. Rebuild the version of you that doesn't beg to be noticed, but shines on its own. And as you do this, you begin to understand it's not that they didn't see you, it's that you stopped seeing you. That ends now. 4. Understanding the hidden wound. Let's go deeper. Why did you get so attached in the first place? Why them? Why does their indifference feel so personal? Sometimes obsession grows from old wounds, a desire to fix a past where we felt invisible, unloved, or abandoned. Maybe they reminded you of a parent who withheld affection. Maybe their coldness made you feel like a child again, trying to earn love through perfection, loyalty, or silence. That pain didn't start with them. They just woke it up. There is a term in psychology for this: repetition compulsion. It's when we unconsciously seek out relationships that replay our earliest traumas, because deep down we hope this time the ending will be different. If we can just make this person love us, maybe we'll finally be worthy. But it never works, because healing doesn't come from fixing someone else. It comes from acknowledging the wound and choosing not to bleed the same way again. So ask yourself, what old story am I trying to rewrite through this person? Your obsession may be less about love and more about unresolved longing. And once you name that longing, you can begin the real healing, not with them, but within you. 5. Choosing peace over closure. You want closure, a reason, an apology, a goodbye. But often people who don't love us back will never give us the story we crave. Why? Because they don't owe us healing, and most can't even give it to themselves. So the final stage is this: you stop waiting for them to let you go, and you do it yourself. It's not about hating them. It's about choosing your peace over their absence. It's about understanding that love is not about possession, that sometimes walking away is the most loving thing you can do for both of you. As Rumi said, if you are irritated by every rub, how will your mirror be polished? Closure doesn't come when they finally say the perfect thing. It comes when you stop needing their words to validate your journey. And the truth is, many people can't offer closure because doing so would require them to face the pain they caused. And many would rather pretend nothing happened. That's not your responsibility. Real closure is when you realize you don't need it. You don't need to be remembered, explained to, or understood by them. You understand yourself now. You see your patterns. You see your worth. And you choose peace, not because the story ended perfectly, but because you are done rereading the same chapter, and that is enough. Conclusion: a future without them. Obsession isn't love. It's a cage disguised as devotion. But you don't have to stay there. You don't have to keep replaying a story where you never get chosen. You can write a new one, where you are the one doing the choosing, where your heart is not a battlefield, but a home. Let go, not because they don't matter, but because you do. This journey is not easy, but it's sacred. Every moment you redirect your love inward, you're rewiring your life. And one day you'll wake up, breathe deeply, and realize you're no longer waiting for them. You're free. And in that freedom, you'll finally meet the one you were always searching for, yourself.